I remember the cold, biting sting of their words clearer than anything else. "You're wasting your life," my father sneered, voice thick with disgust. My mother's eyes, once gentle, now burned with a mix of pity and contempt. "A painter? You're embarrassing us," my brother scoffed, loud enough for the neighbors to hear. I was just a kid then, dreaming wildly, clutching my brushes, my vision of a life outside their narrow confines shattering beneath their mockery. From the moment I announced I wanted to become a painter, they dismissed me as delusional. "Artists don't make money," they said. "You're throwing your future away. How will you support yourself? How will you ever be respected?" Every word was a blow, every joke a dagger. They told me I was stupid, that I'd never succeed, that I was a joke, a laughingstock of the family. I felt the shame sink into my bones, heavy and relentless. For years, I hid my dreams behind a mask of conformity. I took jobs I hated. I painted in secret, patches of color smudged into notebooks in the quiet hours of night. I was told I was foolish, but inside, something stubborn refused to die. I clung fiercely to my art, starving myself, scraping together every penny to buy better brushes, to study at night, to prove them wrong. It was a brutal grind. I faced rejection after rejection, lost contracts, angry clients, doors slammed in my face. The world wasn't kind to a nobody who dared to dream of impossible colors. But every no fueled my resolve. I learned, I grew, I fought. Slowly, my work improved. My name, though still small, still local, began to gain recognition. I sold a painting here, a commission there. Each step forward felt like a small victory over their doubts. Years turned into a decade. I poured everything into this, my blood, my tears, my unyielding hope. And then, everything changed. A gallery took a chance on me. My work was praised, sold out, celebrated. I exhibited in cities I'd only ever dreamed of visiting. I became someone, more than a joke, more than a laughingstock. I was a painter, not just in my dreams, but in the world. And so I finally returned home, my fame humbling and powerful, knowing I was utterly transformed. I stood at the edge of my childhood town, heart pounding with a mixture of triumph and rage. The streets looked the same, familiar, yet distant now. I felt their eyes on me, the whispers already starting. I was ready. I entered the house, the same creaking door, the same worn stairs. My parents were in the living room, eyes wide as I stepped through the threshold. Their faces froze in shock, disbelief etched into every feature. I saw the moment their minds registered what I'd become. A successful artist, a name, a reputation. I dragged a large, framed painting into the room, my latest piece, a sweeping landscape alive with color and emotion. I placed it on the wall with deliberate pride. Silence stretched thick and heavy. My mother's hand trembled as she reached out, eyes moist, voice trembling. Is that really you?" I looked at her then, a mixture of pain and triumph burning in my chest. "Yes," I said simply, "it's me. After all these years, the laughter, the mockery, the doubt, I made it. I proved everyone wrong." My father stared, jaw tight, his face a mask of disbelief. "Pal, how did you get so good?" he finally managed, voice hoarse. I stepped closer, voice firm and steady. "Because I refused to give up. I fought every rejection, every insult. I wanted to quit and crawl back into the shadows. I didn't care what you said. I believed in myself. That's how I made this. That's how I became someone you never thought I could be." My family's eyes flicked across the painting, then back to me. The silence was deafening, punctuated only by the quiet hum of the evening outside. I saw the flicker of something. Respect? Regret? Maybe both? But it was too late for apologies. I had already claimed my victory. In that moment, I felt the weight of every cruel word, every judgment they had cast on me. I had carried it all like a burden in my back, a scar on my soul. But I had turned that pain into power. Their contempt had been fuel, their ridicule my fire. I had built myself from their rejection, brick by brick, stroke by stroke. And as I stood there, looking at the family that once doubted me, those who had tried to shame me into silence, I knew I had won. Not just the acclaim, but their acknowledgement of my strength. The kind of victory that tastes bitter but honest, that reclaims dignity from humiliation. The room was silent again, but now it was different. The respect was unspoken but understood. I saw it in their eyes, shock, maybe even envy, and I didn't care. I knew my worth. I had crafted my destiny with my own hands, paintbrushes, and relentless will. I stepped back, letting them absorb the truth that I had become more than they ever believed I could, that I had risen from the ashes of their scorn, forging a legacy that no mockery could destroy. I was no longer the little kid they laughed at. I was a creator, a survivor, a testament to the power of perseverance. In that quiet, powerful moment, I felt a surge of peace, a catharsis that only those who have fought the impossible can understand. I had faced the abyss of rejection, stared into the darkness of doubt, and come out victorious. I had turned my ridiculous dream into my reality, and I knew, deep down, this was only the beginning. The world was mine now, and I would never let anyone, family included, dull the fire that had carried me here. I had proven them wrong. I had proven myself, and that, in the end, was the sweetest victory of all.